Let's talk about play calling. You've heard it, I've heard it. Play calling, it's a lot like art. People are going to look at it and see different things, and nobody's ever going to be happy. If you called a play that works, you should have called it. If it doesn't work, why'd you call it? Your thoughts on Kevin Stefanski's play calling?
It seems to be a never-ending cycle where we have to have this conversation about Kevin Stefanski's play calling. And did he run the ball enough? Did he throw the ball too much? I mean, you had 34 passes and 33 run plays. And I know a couple of those are scrambles by Brissett that were designed pass plays originally. But in my mind, a coach can only control how the scheme works, not how the players are able to perform. And right now, the plays that seem to not work are similar to last year where the players aren't getting it done. We talked all offseason about how wide receiver just didn't have enough talent. And I go watch the All-22 this weekend, and they were open. There were wide receivers open, play after play after play. That's successful play calling to me. And you know, you're going to see the main difference once the franchise quarterback is back and he's able to elevate the play of those around him. And right now, Stefanski he's really good at his job. He gets players open regardless of who they are.
Yeah, and the other thing about that is let's give Jacoby Brissett a little bit of time. Game speed is different. You can practice. Even preseason reps are different because teams aren't game planning for you. Until you have it full speed against an opponent who is trying to take away what you do well, you can't get timing down. So I suspect there should be a significant increase just in the cohesion between Jacoby Brissett and the wide receivers. Am I giving them too much credit, do you think, or do you think that's a reasonable assessment?
I think that's really reasonable. I've actually kind of talked about this a little bit on my podcast earlier this week, that I thought the main issue that were from Jacoby had a lot to do with the timing. And it felt like everything was just kind of off, just off a little bit here and there. He wasn't hitting any of those outbreaking routes. And it felt like timing and lack of confidence and just things that, like you said, come with more reps, more time. He's only had about a month as the starter since they kind of handed the reins over from Watson. I thought that the things that were the biggest issues had to do with timing and some things that will just come along. He's not going to be exceptionally better than what he was on Sunday. What you saw Sunday was all Jacoby Brissett is.
Yeah. Well, and again, the type of quarterback he is, the timing is going to be important because he's the guy that's going to get the ball out quickly where it's supposed to go. And it takes a little bit of time for a feel. But you're right. He is not going to be a guy you say go win a football game. They're not going to do that.